At Boss, we have a manifesto. We're not just tool makers, we're time liberators. Consider us the intersection of efficiency and innovation. Our mission here is simple. We build new age tools that allow you to work smarter, not harder, because in life, every minute counts. Every tool we make is purpose-built to flip the script. We should all work to live, not live to work. Why? Because we believe in the American dream. We believe in the American worker, and we believe in America the idea. Build a better future faster with Boss. Hey guys, I'd like to welcome you to today's podcast, Born Here, Built Here. I'm Dan Raymond, and we've got a very special guest with us today. This is Jim. I will let him do the formal introductions of himself in just a second. But Jim, I'd like to welcome you.
Thank you.
To our facility here.
Excited.
And we've had a relationship that we started building. I guess it's been a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And first of all, as I said, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there.
My name is Jim VanContant. I'm born and raised in Peck, Michigan, and I work at the Sanilac Career Center. I've been teaching construction trades there for 41 years, and absolutely love my job. Make a difference in kids' lives. And we met. You came out to the Career Center and first time, and I was just amazed by your story. You know, just a small little Mayville town. I grew up in Peck, smaller than Mayville.
Yeah.
And to see what you have done with your vision, and it touched me, you know, as far as, wow, this guy's really going at it. So, and now our kids just love your hammers. We love you guys coming out, and you know, you treat us like family, and we enjoy it.
Great. As I said, yeah, it's been 2 years since we've been on this journey, creating a relationship, and we really do appreciate the fact that you've invited us over to the Sanilac Career Center. We enjoy going in there and being able to talk to the students, and you give me free run.
Absolutely.
I can basically preach to these kids on decisions that they're going to make.
Yep.
And you've been involved in this vocation for how many years now?
41 years.
And has it all in those 41 years been teaching in the VOTEC?
Yes.
It has.
I started when I was 21 years old, and I was an assistant, which we call a parapro.
Okay.
So I was an assistant to the teacher for the first year.
Yep.
And the gentleman came up one day and says, "Hey, you like your job?" I said, "Yeah." Never thought I'd be a teacher.
Right.
A teacher was the last thing I thought I'd be. I only had one or two teachers in high school that I looked up to.
Right.
And I said, "Yeah, I like it. This is kind of cool."
Right.
He goes, "Well, good, because I'm leaving at the semester break at Christmas time, and I'm going to nominate you for the job." And I'm like, holy cow. I'm 21 years old, 21 and a half years old.
Right.
And here I'm going to be the teacher of kids that are 3 years younger than me. I said, all right, I can do this. So I've been there ever since and built, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, construction trades program in the state of Michigan. We have 100 kids in our program. We have 40 kids on a waiting list. Right now we have four full-time teachers.
Wow.
We build 2 custom homes. Our seniors, our homes are spoken for the next 6 years. We get kids jobs, great jobs, not just a job down the road making $7 an hour. My kids make $70,000 a year when they get out. So I've made contacts with big union companies from all over the state, and we've got a great reputation. And I'm going to miss it. This is my last year.
Your last year, you're gonna hang up your tool belt, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to hang it up. It'll be 42 years, and I just hired my replacement, and I'm so excited. He's fresh out of college. His dad has been teaching with me for 26 years, and this young man, his name is Hunter. I've watched him building with his dad since he's been 10, 11, 12 years old.
Right.
He helps me pour concrete all the time, so we have a relationship with that. And then he came into my program, and he was in my program. And his last week of class, he come in, shook my hand. He says, "I think I want to take your job when you retire." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." He says, I want to do what my dad's doing. You know, teach during the school year and then have a concrete or a construction business during the summer. And his dad's a very successful builder. And I said, okay, son, I'm going to stay here until the day you graduate. And he went off to college and became a 2-time All-American, academic All-American, just a wonderful young man. And he's going to be someone that I'm going to feel very positive and happy to lead the program under his wings. So super excited.
So you said pour concrete. So not only do you teach during the school year in the summertime, you find things to do also?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I had to, because when I first started teaching, I couldn't make enough money,
Right.
you know, to survive.
Right.
So I had a construction business. And back in my 20s, I was doing decks, just small stuff.
Right.
And then I got into custom homes.
Right.
And then I got tired of building custom homes because you're on the job site for 6 to 9 months. So then I got pouring concrete. So about 30 years ago, I just went strictly to concrete. So that's all I do. I pour concrete all summer long, and I hire my students. I hire 3 of my students to work for me and build their skills.
Right.
And by the way, I hire the best kids.
Right. But
By Christmas break, I know who the best kids are.
Right.
And I approach them, and most of the time I get them, and we just have a wonderful time. So I'll continue that a little bit once I retire. I'm trying to weed my way out of that before I hurt myself.
Right.
You know, concrete guys don't always walk straight up.
Right.
You know, we kind of hunch over, and I'm still walking straight up. So I
tough
want
trade.
to keep
There's no doubt it's a tough trade.
Yeah.
Speaking of the trades, is there more interest now in 2025 than there was, let's say, in 2010 or 2015? I know for a long period of time there, kids, both boys and girls, young men, young women, whatever you want to say, were encouraged to go the college route. Everybody's got to go to college. So do you see a transition now to where there's much more interest in the trades?
Oh, absolutely. Back in, like I say, we have 100 kids in our program. I would say in obviously 2008, 9, 10, 11, some of our classes were single digits. Yeah, it was a point to where we thought we were going to have to lay off one of the teachers. And parents have finally woke up. People out there in society are waking up and realizing that college is really not the answer. So the kids we're having great success getting kids jobs. I mean, really good careers. They come back and talk to our students, and that just feeds.
Right.
You know, it feeds. It's like a farm system, like the Detroit Tigers.
Right.
You know, you bring them in, you send them out, they go to the pros, they make all this money, they come back, they talk to my class, they show their brand new trucks, they show their retirement savings, benefits, they show their Blue Cross card, insurance card, and that really hits home to kids. And that's what I push a lot with my kids is I'm going to teach you some skills, but I'm going to try to teach you more about being a man and being a woman, because I have females in my program too, about, being smart, right, in the right job, not just settling for something 5 miles from your home.
Right.
You got to make a sacrifice. If you want to make big money, you got to make sacrifices.
Absolutely.
Because if not, everybody be rich.
That's true. So who are some of the bigger name people that come and look to you for employees? Do you have anybody in mind that...
CA Hall is one of the big, they're bridge builders out of...
Oh, they're huge.
Right,
they're huge.
all over. I got real good connections with CA Hall. Kurt Vogel is a superintendent.
Uh-huh.
I have multiple kids that work there. I got ex-students that are in their 50s that are still working there. Dan's Excavating, Cap and Tree Service is really big.
Oh,
Jason Kappen, he does a nice job with our kids. We have a lot of kids that think they want to be linemen, right, because of the money, which is great, but let's be realistic. Like I say, if it was that easy to be a lineman, everybody would be linemen.
Right.
So we start them out with Cap and Tree Service. We have a company out of Midland, Three Rivers. They come and recruit our kids. Ajax Paving come and recruit our kids. So we have multiple big-time, multi-million-dollar companies that come and recruit our kids. And it all started by sending them a couple good ones.
Right.
And then that just feeds, and they're like, hey, you got any more? And when CA Hall comes up, they bring 8 to 10 of their professional people, HR people, superintendents, ex-students, and that hits home with our kids, and if they're going to devote that much time and energy to come and recruit kids out of Peck, Michigan,
Right.
in a thumb.
Right.
Are you kidding me? And we are the only school in the entire state of Michigan that they recruit from.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, they're a huge outfit. I mean, I think they're based in and around Detroit area, right?
Yeah. White Lake.
White Lake area. And we see them in Michigan, bridge work everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, the number of jobs that they're involved in is incredible. So that's a wonderful opportunity for those kids to come into your program, pick up the skills, the knowledge, and then have people come and try to entice them to come to work, right?
Right.
And see how they're a union contractor.
Yes.
So benefits right up front.
Oh, yeah.
Funding of, that's the difference that I see between a person that's looking at a college education versus a person that's going in the trades. From day one, whether it's a union shop or a merit shop, you have the ability to start funding your retirement program. Whereas a kid going into college and bringing about debt to pay for the school, they've got a 4-year program they're involved in, so their debt's getting larger. At the end of that 4-year program, they have to start paying back that school loan, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And that could possibly mean pushing their retirement funding down the road, whereas the guy or girl that right out of the high school got involved in an apprenticeship program, man, they're light years ahead, in my opinion. And you said you have 100 kids in your program.
Mm-hmm.
Are you maxed out at 100? Is there kids waiting?
40 kids. I got 40 kids on a waiting list. Yeah.
40 more?
40 more kids want in my program. We physically can't do it. We don't have the space. We don't have, our classrooms aren't big enough. And right now we have 4 full-time teachers. Once I retire, then it will be down to 3, because typically we have 3.
Okay.
But yeah, we are maxed out. It's just grown so much. I mean, our reputation across the county of parents, of counselors, of teachers, principals, superintendents, they know when they send their kids to my program, you're gonna make it big. Now, not everybody makes it big. Let's face it, out of 100 kids, you're gonna have maybe 10 or 12 that it's not gonna fit well.
Right.
But they still get experience. They still get influenced by 3 grown adult men that do things the right way and have expectations that are way up here.
One thing I want people to understand is in getting to know you, you are not the type of man, that's going to put up with a bunch of guff from a kid.
No.
I mean, all that does is if you get, let's say, a bad apple in the group, it just at least soils, if not ruins other people, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you have any problem with setting down standards and saying, this is the way it is, this is the way it's going to be?
No. I draw the line in the sand the very first day they walk in my class. When they walk in, the first 15 minutes that they're setting in my program, I let them know, this is what we do for kids, but it's not going to be easy.
Right.
And we have to have organization in here. We have to have rules. And if you don't follow those rules, then you're hurting everybody else in here. And I don't want to turn this into a circus. And that's what a lot of school programs are. I mean, you go into classrooms, the poor teachers, you got 4 or 5 kids that don't want to be there and they're causing trouble.
Right.
Well, the rest of the kids aren't learning. So no, I set the rules down real quick. I always wanted to be a Marine, but I went to college and played sports instead. So I kind of run my program like a Marine boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
And at first it's kind of a shock to the kids,
right?
But they appreciate it. After about a month, they're like, whoa, I really like this.
Right.
I'm learning stuff. It's not chaotic. I don't have kids messing with my stuff, stealing my tools. We lay the law down, because when I send kids out to the real world, to contractors, which a majority of them are my ex-students, they have an expectation. And when they get kids from our program at the Sanilac Career Center, they know that they went through my mini Marine boot camp. And
don't you think that's what society is lacking, is firm, fast rules for people? Yep. I mean, we've gotten pretty soft in society, and people just are of the opinion, many people are of the opinion, I deserve it at no cost to me, which in fact they don't. Mm-hmm. You've got to earn it. Yeah. You've got to earn the money, a successful life, and you've got to pay the price. Nobody's going to pay the price for you. There are people out there that are born with silver spoons in their mouth,
Mhm.
but the vast majority of us were not born that way.
No.
I am so thankful for the way that I was raised, ending up on a construction job the day after I graduated from school. And I tell the story that in the first hour, 2 hours of me showing up on a job, those old journeymen explained to me that I was an idiot. My parents had nobody that lived. I couldn't do anything right,
Yeah.
but I was back the next day. And that was just, that was the culture then where, in my opinion, men were real men.
Yeah.
They were tough and they were going to put up with no crap from a kid screwing up. And they let you know in no uncertain terms it was unacceptable and you better up your game. So I think there's something to be said for when you get those kids there and the first 15 minutes of them showing up, half hour, the first few days is you lay down the law.
Yeah.
So I think that's very, very, very important. Now, when the kids come in there, is most of their activities, is it confined to in a workshop or are you working outside of the building or what exactly do the kids do when they show up?
Well, kids come in at their 11th grade year, junior year.
Okay, juniors.
And they visit us their sophomore year, and then they decide what program at the Career Center. We have like 12, 13 programs. They can decide whether they want to come into a certain program. So they choose our program. They come in their junior year. Their junior year, which we call them first year students.
Right.
We have a 60 by 60 shop, and we build projects in there.
Okay.
We teach them all the power tool safety.
Yep.
We have sky tracks, we have excavators, we have bobcats, forklifts. So they're trained on all the equipment.
Right.
So we build projects. We build 50, 60 deer blinds, all different models, different roof sections, different roof types. So the kids will do that for about 3.5 months.
Okay.
Then we teach the kids how to lay block. We do basic electrical.
Yep.
We teach them how to hang finished drywall, basic plumbing. We do a ton of estimation. Every day we're estimating materials.
Right.
And so the kids get this. We have computer-aided drafting in our program. So the kids, draw blueprints and we draw the houses that we build. We design them. So they get all those skills their first year.
Right.
Then they come back their senior year and we build 2 custom homes around 1,800, 1,900 square feet. Right across the parking lot. We have 2 permanent foundations. So our senior kids, which we call our second year kids, will work outside every day, just like they're on a construction site.
Building a home.
Building 2 homes. Yeah.
And so they must be movable. You've got to set up so
Yep. We have Todd Tulaski from Caseville, Michigan. He has a moving business, moving business. So they come in, they pick the houses up, they move into the site, they set them on the foundations, and then we start all over again. And our houses are, like I said, they're spoken for 6 years already. So we got 12 houses pre-sold already.
So these kids get to experience a build from start to finish. All the way from the sill plate, flooring system, sheeting the floor, framing the wall, setting the truss, felt paper, shingles, ice guard, windows, doors, trimming it out, siding, everything.
Cabinets, everything. The only thing we don't do is the flooring. We don't put any flooring down because the houses are going to be moved and I don't want any tile cracking or anything. But what a great experience.
Oh, absolutely.
So our kids actually sit down with the homeowner. They'll design the home and we try to design it while the kids are in their junior year.
Right.
So the homeowners will sit down with the kids, and we usually have 5 or 6 kids that are very good at computer-aided drafting, and they'll draw a floor plan. We'll give it to the homeowner. We'll make changes, and then once we finalize it, then we sit down and have a list. We get all the colors of the siding and the paint colors and cabinet types, and then we go to building it. And the kids, it's a little competition because you have 2 foundations.
Right.
So you have a morning AM class and a PM class, and who's working faster, who's working harder, whose house looks better. And that's part of life.
So that's how you break it up, is the morning class, they do one home.
Yes.
And the afternoon class does the other home.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Now, do you find as the kids go through the program, can you tell the ones that are going to gravitate towards, let's say, electrical or plumbing, carpentry, they probably show a much greater interest, don't they? In that?
Oh, yeah, because I talk to my kids every day. That's one thing I do. I communicate with every kid every day. And I don't just yell orders. I look them in the eye and talk to them. So, they have a feeling of, hey, this guy cares about me.
Right.
So throughout the year, I'm like, hey, what do you like? What have you liked so far? Right. I kind of like electrical. All right, son, then we're going to do that. I'm going to find an electrician and I'm going to get you a job in electrical. How about that? I got connections all over the place. Right. Kids like, really? You can do that? Say, yeah, I'll do that for you. So they specialize. Some kids really don't know. Some kids want to be framers. Right. Some kids want to, there's just so many jobs to choose from. And that's what I tell the kids when they come in. Hey, you don't know what you don't know. Right. But we're here to teach it to you. And we want you to get the best experience possible. We want you to feel confident about yourself. And that's what a lot of kids that come to me, they have no confidence because school has beat them down. I've had valedictorians in my program. I've had kids that can't read. I've had everything you can imagine. But when they walk in my door, I don't care. Right. You're someone equal. You're equal. Nobody's higher or lower. And there's jobs for everyone. And so the kids just, my motto is, I want you to feel an inch taller every day. Right. That's what we do. You make a kid feel like, wow, I feel good. Puff your chest out a little bit. Right. Be proud of what you're doing. Absolutely. And what do most schools do? Nah, they demean them. Right. If you don't get straight A's, B's, or C's, you're a dummy. So they felt like a dummy their whole lives. Right. Until they come to us. Right. So you do make them feel good, but I don't want to forget this right here. Now, when they screw up, I know. We've been there. What do you tell them to do? Well, when they screw up, they do push-ups. Push-ups? Yeah. Now, do they do one or two? Like, see that? Yeah. That's 30. That means 30. 30 push-ups. 30 push-ups. Hit the ground. Get your face in the ground right now and do 30 push-ups. What do we do that for? Throwing nails, goofing off. I don't send kids to the office. Right. Because if I send you to the office, you're not coming back. Now, what would you say to somebody that says, that's not nice? Yeah, I've had people. It's probably against the law. Corporal punishment. I've known that for 41 years, but I do it anyway, and I'm still there. And the students, I think, respect you for that, don't they? They do. I tell them that right off the bat. I said, this is how we handle things out here. And if you're going to be in construction trades, you better be able to be physically fit enough to be able to do a few push-ups. Now, some kids can't do 30. Right. But they get down and they do some. And then what happens? The rest of the kids are looking and they're going, uh-oh, Johnny's doing 30 push-ups. Wow, I better get my safety glasses on. Right. I better not be throwing nails. I better not be picking on anybody. Right. Just we police ourselves, and it's worked out very well. So our kids respect it. They like it. Even when they get into their 30s and 40s, they'll see me. They're like, Jim, what's up? Give me the 30 sign. So we do things like that. And I just let them know. I'm not going to be that teacher at your homeschool that screams and yells at you. Right. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you, son, this is why we can't do this. We can't be throwing nails because, number one, they cost a lot. Number two, you could be poking somebody's eye out. Right. And this is not a circus. And this is not recess. Recess ended when you were in middle school. Okay. This is a big boy job. And I'm preparing you for a big boy job. So you're going to act like a big boy. Right. So, and the kids like that. They really do. And they respect you for it because you hold them to certain standards that, let's be honest, they've probably never been held to unless they've been in sports. If you're a football player, basketball player, your coach tries to hold you to that. Right. But a lot of my kids don't play sports. Some of my kids don't. And they've never had anybody, look them in the eye and say, no, we're not doing it that way. Right. We're going to do it my way because my way gets you $70,000 when you graduate. And they, bringing my kids in and they see that. They see kids that have just graduated the year before. And my kids come in every week. I have my students come in. So it's not just me talking. They see kids that are 1 or 2 years older than them and they're listening to them and they're going, wow, what do I got to do to be like him? Right. You listen to me. Right. And you follow our rules. You do what we want you to do. And you can be there. Now, the majority of the students are boys, young men, right? Yep. Now, we have probably 7 or 8 girls every year. Have you ever saw, I'm sure you have, a standout girl? One of my favorite students of 40 years, man. She just graduated last year. So she came from Peck, probably 5'3", 90 pounds. And I remember the first day this girl came in our program and she sat down and she was timid, let's face it, you're a girl in a man's world right now. And I'm looking at this girl and I'm going, man, I don't know, man, you're feeling like you're giving me this vibe of, you're not sure of yourself. I don't know that I should be here. And so I got talking to her and I said, sweetie, you can do anything these boys can do.
Right.
Don't you worry about it. I raised 3 girls and I got 4 granddaughters.
Right.
So I'm pretty protective when it comes to girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, don't you worry, you're going to be good. So needless to say, she graduated last year as our best top student in our whole program.
She did.
Oh, yeah.
Now, has she found employment? What's she looking to do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She, one of the brightest kids, most talented kids I've ever had.
Uh-huh.
And she got her CDL. She was the first one in our entire program last year to get her Class A CDL.
Wait a second. You offer...
Oh, yeah. Yep.
They can get a CDL?
Class A CDL. Our students can get Class A CDLs, yes.
Right there at your...
Rated our Career
facility.
Center. Yep.
Really?
Yep. So the Career Center pays for the majority of it. I think the kids are going to have about $550 out of their pocket, and the rest of it the Career Center pays for. And we've had great success. I'd say 40% of my kids go through the CDL program. So here's this 5'3", 90-pound girl,
right?
The leader of our program. And she just developed this leadership mentality. She could do anything better than any boy there.
Right.
And so she got ready to graduate. And I said, well, Delaney, what do you want to do? She goes, I think I want to drive truck. Whoa, okay, we're going to drive truck. So I called Kurt Vogel down to CA Hall, and he said, yeah, I got a job for her. No problem. So came to probably 3 weeks before graduation, and she got realizing, man, I'm going to have to drive to Detroit every day.
Right. How far is Detroit?
About from Peck.
Yeah.
You're talking an hour and a half.
Okay.
Excuse me. And she's not one that, she hasn't drove very far.
Okay.
In her life,
Sure.
So then I got thinking, you know what? I'm going to find you a job a little closer. So I called my buddy Jason Kappen, owner at Kappen Tree Service. I said, Jason, I got this young lady. It's just so bright, such a hard, determined worker.
Right.
Perfect attendance for 2 years. This kid is just the top of the top.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what do you got for her? And please don't tell me you're a tree trimmer, because I don't want her climbing trees.
Right.
He goes, let me see. Calls me back the next day. He says, yeah. He says, I got this job, does he call it? A monitor or a programmer. Basically what she does is she goes out and she sets up the jobs before the tree trimmers show.
Site inspections, make sure everything's right, everybody's happy.
Yep.
Scheduling and stuff like that.
Yep. She programs all the trees that have to be cut on her laptop. She talks to the homeowners, property owners.
Yep.
Company truck. Yeah, and they started her out at $33 an hour.
Out of high school. $33 an hour.
Yeah. Starting out.
No college debt.
No college debt.
Immediately funding her retirement.
Yep.
The future looks bright.
Very bright.
And I'm sure there's room for advancement there. I know I'm aware of Kappen. They are they're a powerhouse in the area here.
Yeah.
I know they have lots of employees.
Yes.
They're doing an outstanding job. They've had incredible growth over the last 20 years. I've got a brother-in-law who is friends with the Kappens, and he talks about them. We've talked through the years of how they've gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're always looking for good tradespeople.
Oh, yeah. So I just texted her 3 days ago. I said, sweetie, first day back to school, I'm thinking about you. How you doing?
Right.
And she's doing, I'm doing okay. She said, I've got a lot to learn,
right?
But the job's going well. So, yeah, I'm just so proud of her. So that's just one of my success stories from a female girl that I've had over the years. I've had many. That's very few girls enter our program and don't go through. I mean, let's face it, if you're going to enter a male-dominated program like that,
sure,
you got to have some guts. And most of my girls really do. They really like it. And so, yeah. So I'm probably more proud of my girls that go through sometimes, just because being a father of all
Right.
girls and,
Right.
and all granddaughters. And so, yeah, we have a few of them, and they're really good. But Delaney's probably one of my biggest success stories.
Well, that's good to hear. I know we have noticed that there's some girls in your programs, and they do very well. We, as I said, we get to go talk to your folks, and then we have our Hammer Skills contest that's there, and they absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And the girls can be very, very competitive. So outside of work, your vocation, teaching there, what do you do for fun?
Oh, boy. Well, love my Harley.
Okay.
I ride my Harley all over the country. I'm a big snowmobiler. I ride snowmobiles out west, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Canada, British Columbia. My son-in-law owns a home in Bozeman, Montana, and we have 8 mountain sleds out there and all of our gear, and we go out and we ride 3-4 times a year. We go ride the mountains. I love doing that. I love to golf. I'm a big hunter. I love to hunt elk, whitetail, big bow hunter, doing that. Just and spend as much time with my grandbabies as I can.
How many grandkids do you have?
I have 4.5.
And a half.
Because one's going to be born in about 10 days. So
10?
I call that more than a half, 4 3/4. So yeah.
So you've got 4 granddaughters.
Granddaughters.
And do you know what the half is going to be?
We do not. I'm hoping for another girl. My son-in-law is hoping for a boy.
Right.
But it's just something special about raising girls. And so I'm hoping for another girl, but if it's a boy, then we're going to raise him tough too.
Oh yeah. Being a papa is something that's very special. A grandpa. I know we've got 11.
Yeah.
We've got 7 boys and 4 girls. And boy, I tell people I like the grandkids because they're still stupid. They think I'm pretty special. They haven't figured me out yet, but as they mature, they're going to come to the conclusion, man, he's a goofball. You know, grandpa's a goofball, but I do love the time and seeing them develop. So you're able to spend quite a bit of time with the grandkids?
Yeah. I have 2 of my grandbabies live 10 miles away, and my other 2 live in Grand Rapids, so I don't get to see them quite as much. But yeah, that's probably my favorite thing to do. My wife and I just love being a puppin and so
wonderful roles to play in those young folks' lives. So another thing I want to cover is you and I are pretty much of the same mindset. We talk about this great country and being a patriot.
Yep.
Can you explain to people why it's so important to really be proud of who they are? I mean, I see in today's world, everybody wants us to apologize. I see, apologize for being a male, apologize for being an American, apologize for, your last name. Could you address that? What's your feelings on that foolishness?
Well, it goes back to we're not teaching our history enough in school. Yeah, we're not teaching about, the wars that our grandfathers fought.
Right.
But where we're at. And the sacrifices that men 80, 90, 100 years ago made to make this country what it is. We have a short memory. Some, people have real short memories. And in today's society, everybody just wants everything right now.
Yep.
And they don't understand that it took a lot of years, decades and decades and decades to get our country to where it's at. And the sacrifices that our servicemen have, put out there and put their lives on the line to give us the freedoms that we have. And and I blame a lot of it on our colleges are teaching all these liberal thoughts, and then what do? They teach our young teachers to have those liberal thoughts. And so then they get into education. What do? And then they try to bring their liberal thoughts to our kids and try to teach our kids that our country's not good.
Right.
And we're not perfect.
Right.
We're not close to perfect, but we're a hell of a lot better than any other country. That's
Absolutely.
why everybody wants to be here.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're all running to get into our country.
Yeah.
You don't see very few people running to get out of our country. Everybody's running here for the freedoms and the opportunities that the United States of America offers.
Yeah.
And I think, as you said, I don't think history, I'm not in the teaching business, you are. I don't think history is being taught like it should be taught. It's been said we're only one generation away from losing our freedom, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I put it upon myself to educate my kids about the sacrifices. So I push a lot of my kids into the services. I really do. I wish every one of my kids could go into the services, go into the military in some capacity, even for 2 years.
Right.
I think that's where we're lacking a lot. Once you enter the military and have that commitment of service, then you realize I'm going to be a proud man because I know what it takes to defend it. And so, I bring in the military, I bring in these multi-million-dollar companies, but I also bring in the Army, the Marines, the Navy, Coast Guard, every one of them. And so I'm very proud. My grandfathers fought in the wars.
Right.
And when I graduated, about my junior year, I wanted to be a Marine. That's all I wanted to be.
Right.
Because I had a friend that went to the Marines, and when he came back, he was a badass. Badass. I thought, you know what? I've trained my whole life to be a badass in sports, and I want to serve my country like my grandfathers did. And but then my senior year, I got full ride scholarships to go to college for track, and my parents are like, "You're going to give up full ride scholarships to go to college,
right?
And you want to go in the military?" So I let people influence me a little bit. And not that it was a bad choice.
Right.
But I only lasted 2 years, and this college is not for me. I love sports, but that's the only thing I love about it. So that's one of the regrets that I carry with me to this day, is that I wish I could have been a Marine and, serve my country. So I guess in a way, for me not doing that, then I talk to my kids and I tell them what it's, the service and what they're going to feel like. And when those boys walk in my program and they're dressed in their uniforms and they're standing tall, and you're like, "You the same kid that just left here a year ago?"
Right.
And so that makes me proud.
So they make these boys into men.
Absolutely.
That's another whole conversation that I'm sure you and I could have, and we may have, is just because you're physically capable of reproducing sexually, it doesn't make you a man.
No.
I mean, a man comes with some criteria, right? A backbone, integrity, respect, doing it for yourself and not counting on other people to do it for you, right?
Right.
You're bound by your word, and I think I'm hopeful that we're moving back in that direction. I know that as far as patriotism, it seems like we're getting more patriotic in 2025, right? I think our military, they say recruitment is
way up,
way up, and that is a wonderful thing. Maybe people have finally come to realize the honor that it is to serve the country, how important freedom is, and what the future holds for them in the military and beyond.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yeah. It's something that parents, and let's face it, the first thing I get from my students, well, my mom doesn't want me to go in the military. Excuse me. I understand that. But, I talk to these parents and I say, listen, your son needs this. He's pretty immature right now.
Right.
And if I just graduate him and get him out, get him a job, I don't know he's going to mature a whole lot. Your son needs this. And so then let's face it, how many people go into the military that actually get shot at? Very small percentage. Or even go to war, very small percentage. So,
do you find a lot of these kids that might be considered immature is because they don't have a father in the home?
Yep, absolutely. I've seen this start back in the 90s when the divorce rate started skyrocketing. And so I've told this story over and over. I said, you wonder why we get 17-year-old boys that are acting like they're 13.
Right.
Well, the divorce happens. The mother usually gets custody of the kids.
Right.
So the mother is raising their kids, and mothers do a great job, but they're not men. They're not raising their boys to be men. They're coddling them like they're still little kids. They're trying to keep them safe.
Right.
Where a man, raises a boy to be a man. So then the dad gets the kids every 2 weeks for a weekend.
Right.
And the last thing he's going to do is discipline his kids.
Right.
Because he doesn't want to be a jerk, and where he pushes kids away.
Right.
So then this whole cycle starts going to where now we have all these kids in these divorced families,
Right.
being raised by mothers that aren't disciplining the,
Right.
14, 15-year-old kid the way they should be. Their dad sees them every other weekend for 2 days. He spoils the hell out of them. So then we have this lack of discipline and this lack of respect. And so that's what I've seen over the years. So again, I put that on my shoulders when my kids come in my program. And, so it's my job for 2 years to fill in to where maybe the kid didn't get this,
Right.
This type of exposure. So,
Right. Try to make a difference in their life with a manly figure. I know.
yeah.
In the perfect setting is a man and a woman staying together and raising kids together, because they both have unique emotional
Yeah.
feelings within themselves. We tend to be tough.
Yeah.
And mama,
Yeah.
the female, is soft, right? And they need both of it. They need
Right.
a compassionate mom, but they also need a dad that's going to put his foot down and say, no, this is what's getting done. You've got chores you're going to do. You're going to continue in the sports program. I'm not going to let you quit.
Yeah.
You're going to work hard. I'm going to teach you about integrity, about holding true to your word, and so on. But yeah, I think from what I've seen in life, it's definitely the lack of the father in the home.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you do have to give credit to these women, what they're trying to do, because in a lot of instances, you might as well say it, the dad's a bum. He's irresponsible. He wants to go out and he wants to party. He wasn't taught, or he decided not to honor his word, and he brought about life, and he's just letting this life develop in any way it can. And a lot of times it doesn't work out well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And you can see the kids, when they come in and I'm with them for a month or two. I can almost point to the kids in my program that have a mom and dad at home.
Yep.
And then I can also point to the kids that are going through a divorce or have a stepdad or have a stepmom.
Sure.
And so that, to me, that's one of my pushes with my kids is I say, listen, we're not in this life for everyone to become a millionaire, but you have to be comfortable. You have to be very comfortable. So the careers that I'm training you for, you can have a very good life.
Right.
And life is a lot easier when you have a pretty good paycheck on Friday, because it takes the stress away from parents fighting. Because that, to me, a lot of divorces are caused by, fighting over money.
Right.
So, you just try to educate these kids about what their future holds. I'm 62 years old. I've been divorced 2 times. And so I've seen that happen.
Right.
And so the experiences that I went through in my life.
Right.
And now I feel that I've finally got it right.
Right. We learn by our, I guess we'll call them mistakes, or
Yeah, absolutely.
could have made better decisions. But the path to success in life is not always straight, right?
No.
There's a lot of curves.
Yeah.
And, when you have a goal that you want to get there, it's not a straight line. You may have to go over here and then over there and up a hill, down a hill, so to speak, before you get close to what your dream may be. So you've got a school system. The school year's starting here pretty quick.
Yeah, we already started. The teachers came back this past Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Students come back on Monday.
Okay.
So we are geeked, man. I am so excited to get those kids in there and change some lives and get them excited, and just to see these kids for the first time since probably elementary that they're excited about being in school. And that's the truth.
Right.
Let's look at a school system. Elementary, it's fun as hell. You
Right.
get to go out recess twice a day.
Right.
You get to go run and play.
Right.
And then all of a sudden middle school comes and the recesses are gone, and it's just constant book work and tests and quizzes and sitting in a chair, and kids are antsy. And then you get to high school and it continues. And a lot of students just feel lost, and then all of a sudden they come out to us and it's like their eyes are opened up all over again. And they feel that excitement. They can't wait to get on the bus to come to the Career Center. They can't wait to walk into our program and strap on that nail apron,
Right.
and get their work boots on and get their hands dirty and maybe bleed a little bit,
Right.
And that's, it's just amazing to see the excitement in kids' faces again.
Right.
And I tell my kids every year, you're the most fortunate kids in your county. And they're looking at me like, are you crazy? I got C's and D's. Why am I the most fortunate? I say, well, son, right now in this room, you're the only kids being taught construction in about a 60-mile radius. How many kids do you think are in a 60-mile radius? Thousands.
Right.
What are your buddies doing right now back at your home school? They're staring out the window, trying to look at their phone because they're tired of listening to the teacher. They're tired of taking tests. They're bored. They're not getting any smarter. They're not building any skills.
Right.
And you are.
Right.
So at the end of your 2 years, now you are employable. Now you have skills that, let's face it, most of the time grown men have. And now you are so far in advance than all the other kids from your program or from your school. And they're like, well, yeah, but Johnny and Susie get straight A's. What does that really mean? That means that they can read stuff, memorize it, take a test, and get A's. Do they really have any skills? Sometimes they don't.
Right.
And then they go off to college, and that's no guarantee that you're going to be successful. But you've had 2 years of experience in my program to where now you get a feeling of, I know what I'm doing. I have skills now. And now Jim and Steve and Kyle, and they're going to get me a good job, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to produce in society right away.
Right.
And let's face it, 57% of the kids who enter college drop out their first year.
Is that what it is?
57%.
And how many of them would you say that actually get a degree, earn money in the vocation they're trained in?
Maybe 25%.
That's pretty sobering.
It is very sobering.
That's like I've got 3 sons, and one of my sons was offered a scholarship. He's a very good athlete. Not that the other ones weren't, but he's a very good athlete.
Yeah.
And he didn't take the scholarship, and he went to college, but he did love playing sports. And he told me, he's in his early 30s now. He said, Dad, sports really aren't that important, are they? It's a fun pastime, right?
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, the vast majority of folks are not even going to make it to college. They're never going to get paid for playing sports.
Right.
And it makes a whole lot more sense to go to like a VOTEC program to build their skills where they become employable, where they can earn a good living.
Yeah.
And I found that refreshing that my son would come and say, even though he enjoyed it, and it was fun watching him, I loved going and watching him play, that it really wasn't that important. It's the things in life that the skills that you develop that are important, that can carry you through, to earn a living for that family.
Absolutely.
That's eventually coming.
Yeah. And I was a big athlete all through school. And the Career Center back when I was in school is where the burnouts went.
Okay, so people understand, what's a burnout? I know what a burnout is. What's a burnout?
A kid back in the day that, would smoke cigarettes and drink beer on the weekends and be a troubled kid in class. Yep. So people looked down on him. So technically, when the Career Center started back in like 1976, 77,
right.
All the counselors would say, well, we got these 10 boys, they're trouble in class. Let's send him to the Career Center. And I didn't even know the Career Center existed when I was in school.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I think my senior year, I thought, I want to be an electrician. And I want to go to the Career Center and see what it's all about. So I went out there thinking I'm going to be an electrician, and they stick me in electronics class where they worked on frickin' radios.
Right.
Transistor stuff. I'm like, no, I want to wire houses. Well, the construction program at that time was in such disarray. It was horrible. Mm-hmm. The kids, the teacher couldn't handle the kids.
Right.
So I didn't even go into it. So I went to the Career Center for 2 weeks. And I went to my coach and I said, listen, I can't do this. You need to get me back at school. So that was my experience at the Sanilac Career Center when I was in school. Never did I think I would ever be back there. So I remember that. And when I started my program in 1984, I remember what that program used to be like. when I was in high school, and I said, it's going to change. And we've changed it. And now we have one of the top programs in the state. All of our programs at the Sanilac Career Center, we have 12 programs. 7 out of the 12 are at capacity, full capacity on enrollment with waiting lists. So that's when you ask the question, are kids seeing their future in a different light? Oh, absolutely. Parents are waking up and they're realizing, first of all, I don't have $35,000 a year to send my kid to a college. And then they're going to go to college. And I always tell my kids, I said, think about what college kids are doing. They have zero experience in what they're going for. They've never been in college. Most of them just work minimal jobs through high school. So they're guessing. They're guessing at their career. They're guessing at what program to sign up for at Central or Ferris or Michigan. They're guessing. It's like a catalog, flipping the page and saying, that looks really pretty. I think I want that. Then you get it and you think, this ain't working out so well. So the parents are looking at, I can't have my kid go into debt. You know, I don't want him to live that life being in debt. And what are the alternatives? Well, now we have vocational training where these kids are getting out and they're making, I call it man money right away.
Right.
And I tell my kids all the time, I'll get you jobs that you'll be making more than your parents your first year out of high school. And they laugh at first, but then I bring my boys back in and they say, yeah, I'm 19 years old and I made $85,000 last year. I got $17,000 in my retirement fund and I have an insurance card right here in my wallet that is free.
Right.
And the kids are looking at that going, whoa, you can go to college for 10 years and you can't find a job like that.
Absolutely.
So I think we're making a big difference. I really wish that our government would push vocational training more. I think Trump wants to. He talks about it, and I think he's all for it. But I think our local government, you know, let's face it, I tell the story all the time. What are politicians? Politicians are kids who went to kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school, college, and then they go right back into, you know, being a politician or going into more college.
Right.
They don't have skills.
No.
The majority of our politicians don't know. So then what do they want? Then they run our schools like, well, I went to college. I was a success. I went 4 years. Everybody should do that. No, everybody shouldn't. And so that's the cycle that we need to break in our educational system. We need to get more business people that are successful, like yourself, to come in and, you know, educate our kids. But we're not going to do that when we're starting teachers out at $37,000, $40,000 a year.
Right.
So, I don't know, hopefully one day that happens and we can change maybe vocational education will be looked at as the way to go instead of pushing all of our kids to go into college.
Right. I do think, as you said, I think the Trump administration is starting to push the trades. We're at least hearing rumors of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have no problem spending millions or billions of dollars on frivolous things that many times I don't agree with, and I'm sure you don't agree with.
Right.
You would think that they would figure out how to promote the trades.
Yeah.
We're starving for tradespeople out there.
Oh.
We're still involved in a commercial construction, and that's all we hear. When we're talking to people all over the place is we have labor shortages. And as you said, these kids can come out of high school, VOTEC training, and they can make big boy money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they've got a driver's license, they got a good head on their shoulders, and they want to give 100% each and every day, they want to show up, man, that right there is a recipe for success.
Yeah.
That's the kind of men and women that business people want to get their hands on, because you can build a great team with those kind of people.
Yeah.
So, well, hey, I want to thank you for your time. It's been very, very enjoyable, and I enjoy the relationship that we've built together. And I know in the next week or so, we're
coming out.
We're involved with you guys again, and we look forward to it. It's a load of fun, and getting to talk with the kids, laugh and joke, and they get hooting and hollering.
Yeah.
And we'll be there, and we're gonna have
week. I think we have a date set up.
Yep.
So yeah, the kids are excited, man. It's a great day, it's a great day to, just do something different.
Do something different, and we can encourage them about, buying stuff that's American made.
Yes.
And, I think that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Americans have to realize that, we're in a time of pain right now because of the tariffs, right?
Right.
We're trying to get stuff back here into this country, but that's so important that we make stuff here at home, that we help keep our fellow citizens employed, that we keep money right here at home, because the business people here are the people that support the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, the fundraisers, the benefits that occur when people maybe are down on their luck and stuff like that. So those are all things that we get to talk to your kids about, and we do thoroughly enjoy it. So once again, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll see you later in a few days.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for watching, and stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe. We'd love to have you watch more of the stuff that we're producing. So have a great day. Thank you.